on souls and entities, life and death from the point of view of a spirit. Hello again. Thank you for being here with me once more. I hope you are very well today. I am Marie. This information can be seen as science fiction, or as the viewer sees best, and I post it for entertainment purposes only. Still, I take my information very seriously, and for whoever has eyes to see. More on entities. For me, an entity is a vaguely defined thing, creature, soul or spirit that exists in the lower astral existential realms, although we can also extend entity to all those who exist in the existential realms that are not the physical world, or the astral realms, higher and lower all the same. We could even call people in the world of the living an entity, or entities. The word entity does not necessarily define it as being negative or regressive, although in the context I am using in my paranormal videos, I use the word entity to define a lower astral creature which we do not know who or what it is, but generally has regressive tendencies and attitudes. For me, a demon is an entity that has been detected to be very clearly negative, regressive, and dangerous. This is to the point where we could even classify demons on a scale of evilness or power. As many people throughout history declare having seen, or been in contact with the devil himself, they seem to forget or ignore that there are many demons. They all work with hierarchies and levels, so it is unlikely to find or have been in contact with the highest one, as they send lesser ones to do lesser jobs, as military do. Now, those of you who have been following me and my predecessors for a long time, know that we strongly push the notion that all religions were created by the powers that be, as a means to control the greater human population, to keep them in fear, and therefore obedient and submissive. Yet here I am today talking about demons in a context that is very similar to what religions push. It is no news that all religions base their scriptures on real things, events, and concepts, whenever it is convenient for them, but we can go even further when we can see that religions spawn strong belief systems, which are strong ideas, and therefore are the very base for manifesting an existential realm. Religions are reality for those who devotedly follow them, and if they strongly do so, because it has served them in their spiritual path, so be it. At least they are looking for answers outside the official matrix science, which is nothing other than another religion, as demonstrated by its strong dogmatic nature. No religion holds an ultimate cosmic truth, therefore we could also consider a religion as some kind of existential realm in itself, where its rules apply within, yet do not always apply outside of it. This means that people who have a higher understanding of religion, its meaning, purpose, and origin, will understand it in their own context, where religion can be studied and taken for what it is to them, which is a premium method of population control. And this is why I say that there is no ultimate truth, much less a cosmic one, valid everywhere and in all existential realms, unless we can consider the greater mind of Source itself to be that ultimate truth. Coming back to lower astral entities, the fact that they are on the astral side does not mean that they do not hold strong belief systems for themselves, as many of them were once incarnated souls with a life in the world of the living, therefore under the strong influence of religion. This means that they apply those religious rules to the lower astral world they are co-manifesting with their low consciousness, which in the end, the lower astral realms are only the result of the strong egregore created as a reflection of all the worst attributes of people with a soul, who are inhabiting the world of the living. It is the mirror manifestation of the worst and darkest parts of the collective unconscious. When people die, the only thing they take to the other side is who they are, what they have learnt, and their values and ethics, experience, and their ego identity. But even there, what one subject or another takes with him or her will depend on its vibration, on its thoughts and ideas. So many who are in a very low vibratory state, those who die full of anger, resentment and hate and with very low ethics and values, will continue to be the same on the other side. Those will not experience the vast expansion of consciousness that happens to high vibratory people and souls at the moment they pass on, simply because they are not a vibratory match to that, because they are self-contained and bottled up inside their own limited self-created realm, based on low vibration thoughts and values, and therefore has no flexibility and no predisposition for any kind of spiritual advancement. A soul needs to have a very strong connection to Source, and also be willing to let go of all values to adopt more expanded, better ones, to be able to be a match to the vast expansion of consciousness that occurs when a soul is being integrated into the greater field. This is because a greater expansion of consciousness will also cause the dissolution of the ego, of the self that the soul had when incarnated. More awareness and more understanding will expand consciousness, therefore values, ideas and concepts, such as those that defined reality at large for that soul, will expand to the point where at least most of those will cease to exist. Therefore the very frame of values and ideas that define a person would have expanded to become something else. This means the dissolution of the ego as it was known when incarnated, the metamorphosis of the self, developing into something much greater than what it was when in a biological body. This means when a high vibration subject passes on, it will no longer be who he or she was when in a biological body, and even though the sense of identity itself is not destroyed, as in reality, it has only expanded, this nevertheless can be quite scary. As many people who remember past lives and the space between them, as well as countless people who have had near-death experiences, have described, when they are around the white light stage, they feel a deep, overwhelming, unconditional love, in their words, so thick they can envelop themselves in it as if it were a blanket. Love is integration, to make something part of yourself, so it is easy to conclude that feeling of thick unconditional love is nothing else but the process of reintegration into the greater field, and with it, the transcendence of the self into something far more expanded, where the former self, the ego the person had when alive, is not really destroyed, it simply becomes part of something much larger. As many people who remember past lives can describe, it is a vast expansion of consciousness, and of knowing who you are, where you truly stop being who you were before, while incarnated, yet you do not lose consciousness and awareness of your own uniqueness. As your self-awareness greatly expands, you metamorph into your cosmic identity, into who you have always been, only greatly enriched by the dramatic experiences you had while in a biological body, of whatever species, as we are all people. And it is at this stage where a soul may choose to dwell in the higher astral existential realms, or reincarnate into a biological body once more. But why would a highly evolved soul that is already dwelling in higher comfortable existential realms want to go back into a problematic biological body, and live another chaotic life, strongly defined by hardship and suffering? There are reasons for that, although no matter how advanced or illuminated our ideas can be, this will inevitably remain one of the greatest existential mysteries. Perhaps the soul has become too comfortable, therefore bored, and therefore seeks adventure, feeling alive again, accomplishing even greater expansion with this. After all, the meaning and the interpretation of suffering and hardship, and everything else, changes dramatically depending on which side you are on, from the world of the living, or the side of the spirits, as I described in a whole video I made. I will leave a link to it at the end of this one. This subject will continue. This will be all for today. As always, Thank you for watching my video, and for liking, sharing, and subscribing for more. And I hope to see you here next time. With much love, your friend, Mari Swaruu.